Hello everyone, welcome back to MoteMancer and my unnecessarily large shadow elemental shadow binding factory. I just wanted to do it, okay? Something like this would have actually been useful on air or water, where there's a lot of research to do. On shadow, I don't know. I just wanted to. Despite the fact that while doing it, I felt constantly miserable. So and the problem is, like, there's still more stuff to automate, I guess, over here, right? But mostly I have to make keystones. And then, like, void chests, sure. So this is a bunch of elemental shadow. It's been a few days since the last session. Let me get my bearings here. So I know this needs 27 elemental shadow. I remember that. And I guess it needs 9 of the other things. And I have... Boy, why is it so framey today? I thought I had this, like, handled. It was much better last time. There's plenty of fire here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, I did this on purpose. So what we need is more air. If I'm going to build 1 keystone a second, which I want to do, even though, as I said, it's just not really necessary. These guys don't make that much. Isn't there more air, like, somewhere nearby, as I recall? I wish there were a map. Here it is. It's right here. Right? Where's this shadow? This is air, right? Yeah, for sure. So... Can't I just put down a bunch more collectors? If this is 4 air, and I could get another 4 here, that would be 8, which is almost 9, and then, like... Happen to be any more air around here, just by coincidence? I wouldn't think so. This is also air, so we could do it, but... I think I would settle for 8. I think that would be reasonable. So how are we for simple collectors? I have 17. I need 16 more. Well, 16. I need to place 16 of them, and I have 17, so that is a sufficient number. My inventory is kind of a mess. Is there more in here somewhere? There always is. Okay. I still... Why don't I ever build like this? Before it was because I needed to fit roots or fire wires in the middle, but I can just put fire wires on each side, and doesn't this make it easier to fit more moat thingies? Right? And in fact, just 1 more of these. And this would be producing 5 air per second. which together with the 4 that I'm getting up here is as much as I need. Is 9, I guess, which is more than I need, but the amount that I'm choosing to demand. So I just kind of want to rip all of this apart, don't I? Well, a lot of it, not necessarily all of it, right? Like this part, making shadow prisms. Sure, why not? But these parts are making insufficient numbers of the relevant things. Does this one even do anything, or did I put this here to handcraft some obsidian or something? Or I don't know. It's a mystery. I mean, well, there's this research area here. I have air here, which I could extend easily. So I could just lay out 2 more Quicksilver makers, Whispering Abysses, and tried to feed them down into this thing. I forget if you're supposed to have 4 altars or 2 to research at 1 per second. It might be 4. I feel like that would be mentioned on the Discord somewhere. I'll check real quick. Alright, I thought I had timed things myself. I mean, by hand, just counting alligators, right? At coming out to, I forget, either 2 or 4 per second. But according to Discord, multiple messages, including one by the game developer, say it's 5 seconds to do a research. So you would need you would need 5 altars to run stuff at 1 per second if you were making stuff at 1 per second. So that seems like something I should figure out how to do. I never really worked out that, for want of a better word. So, as I've said before, this is more... Oh, wait, did I want that Caldera Crucible? I did. That's where I'm supposed to make... No, I didn't. That was one I made accidentally a while ago. This is more than I need for Shadow, but I kind of like it as... training of a sort for air, to just make sure I have the right idea when I get there. So let's say I wanted to build... Okay, I need 2 more altars. 3, I mean. I'm short on ether, by the way. Oh my god, it just filled back up instantly as I took 2 stacks out. I know that's just because there was a bunch buffered on the void chests putting into it, not because I actually produced like 200 a second or whatever, but just funny that it was instantaneous. So... and the number of things I'm researching with... There's 3 here, and 3 here. So 4 total, because they both have Elemental Shadow and Shadow Keystones, and one has a Void Chest. Oh, I'm gonna need even more, right. I would need so much Shadow, because I have to, right, I can't just make Shadow Keystones and then say I'm done. I have to also automate these Shade Collectors, which take 10 Elemental Shadow each. So, and Void Chest, I think there might be even more. 55?! That's so much. So if I were really gonna make If I were going to do research at 1 per second, that would be crazy. I would need 55 elemental shadow, plus the 1 for the elemental shadow itself that I'm building, plus 27 for the keystone, right? That's insane. 56 and 27 is 83. Okay. So I'm making more than half of that. So like 3 altars actually is probably fine. Oh my god. What? And all of this is for research that doesn't even matter, annoyingly. Okay. Oh, and there's this one. I keep forgetting about this one because I just don't even want it. But yes, it's there too. So if I were going to lay these out like so, right? It would be the work of but a moment to set up a pathway leading to them that can handle all the items, I believe. Just like run the... This isn't going here, of course. It has to... This has to go into a keystone maker. So maybe the altars shouldn't even be right here. Well, okay. I'm gonna figure out this research shit later. First, I need a bunch of mycelium. And that's very easy to do. See, I believe it comes out actually of a dark grove, right? Yes. And it makes 1 per second. And eventually, I would wish that I could make void chests at 1 per second, but, like, let's get real, I can't actually. So I would need 11 of these mycelium makers. It's so much. Let's settle for 9 because that's how many I can make with the resources I have on hand. They need more elemental shadow. Well, fine. So the good news is a dark grove that makes mycelium is pretty easy, right? It's just... Oh, but it needs so much input, right? It needs a crazy amount of input. Doesn't it? I've already forgotten what goes into how... Oh, no. It's not that much. Okay. It's just, we need a lot of mycelium, not that mycelium itself is super, super difficult. Got it. I was going to say, wouldn't it be nice if I could reuse the salt up here, but there isn't any salt up here. We use ether for elemental shadow. So I think what I'm going to do... Well, if I'm building 9 of these... I need more than a slab's worth of just salt, right? It would need like 2 and a bit slabs. And it's always coming from void chests. So like... I could do what I've done before with salt, or with slabs loaded from void chests, where I like have 4 buildings and then a pause and then another void chest and then 4 more buildings. I guess that's just what I'm gonna do. It seems fine. I could even put it this close, couldn't I? Why not? This building's such a goofy shape that you could do something like this and run an underground. Right, something like that. Yeah, I'm discovering I actually kind of underestimated how much shadow would be needed, and so overbuilding all of this is not as crazy as it looked. I think it's still not like good for my mental health or anything, but it's not. I don't know. It's something that like a therapist would note down, but not something they would send me to the hospital for, I guess. What? Oh, there's one there. Okay, so that's 9. That's plenty. I don't think I actually have enough input. Well, I do. I have enough input to support all of this, but not while also making keystones, right? So this is fine. Sort of. I guess a good player would figure out the ratios, right? But oh my god. Okay, get me. Can I get up there? I can't tell where these buildings end. There we go. Oh, and it should be, yeah, totally possible to just squeeze a void chest in with a, like here, with a gripper here to fit anywhere in the assembly line. Great. I don't even really need any of this shadow research. That's the worst part. Okay, so void chest containing salt should be this one, as I recall. You know what I'm realizing? I did all this backward. It doesn't matter for the size I'm currently building, but if I ever wanted to scale up, it would be more appropriate to have the belts going to the right, so that I could easily add more stuff to the right side. Whereas if I have it going left, then the place where I put the first void chest is kind of, and I now have 2 kind of endpoints here and here, versus having this an endpoint and scaling indefinitely in this direction if it were going to the right. But I don't think I'm going to scale this up, so I'm just going to live with it. Good, that's working. So after 1, 2, 3, 4 machines, we'll put another one in. I need to make more of these guys, huh? Just just need more air? Elemental air? Oh my god, I'm trapped by these stupid machines. Where is the boundary between them? Okay, it's there. Just make 10. And then embarrassingly, I have to put one like right here for just the last machine. Oh well. I'll put it here and then it'll look like it's doing more work. So these are now churning out mycelium. That's nice. Now we have a nice little mycelium slick. Shade collector is very easy to build if you have mycelium. Because simple collectors can easily be manufactured out of a void chest. And if we're only planning to build one shade collector per second, we only need one of these things. And void chests, I assume the same deal? It's only 1 per second to make, or 1 second to make one? Yes. It's just that it takes an absolute truckload of inputs. 11 per second. Are you high? I'll make 9. Okay, which I guess, by the way, means I need at least 9 of these. These are made in dark groves, so let's make one of those. Which consumes a tar cauldron, I think, so I need to make another one of those. For which I need still more elemental shadow. Okay. So we can just ship the mycelium down, well, I say down, over to wherever we're doing research stuff, right? But I guess, like, since I already have right here a slick of mycelium, I could just build right here the Ickerslick manufacturing array, right? Because that's what needs all the mycelium mostly. Or no, sorry, that's not true. The void chests do. And so I could build my one void chest manufacturing thing right here if I wanted. And have it fed by Ickerslicks making Ickerslicks on the other side. But I don't want a huge long belt of void chests, right? I want to assemble that on site. And I only want to have to ship this mycelium, like the mycelium, not ship the 2 things that I turn mycelium into. Namely, shade collectors and void chests. So I think what I should do is go down to the research area, or wherever it's going to be. Like this, I definitely want to expand to make this just make all the air I need. That's fine. And then with the fire right here, like, yeah, this is a decent place to do the research. The layout is not necessarily quite right. And this stuff all definitely can go. So let's just start tearing stuff up. Oh, I have haste on. This is gonna fill my inventory too soon. I mean, I say too soon, like, I just don't want it filled at all, really. So these are the air prisms, which we don't need. It would be nice not to throw them away, so I can just take them to the plane of air and start doing air prism research, right? Although I guess I did all the research that doesn't require other stuff. There's got to be a lot of air prisms. 133, yeah. Do any big chests? Can I make any big chests? Yeah. Just make an expansive chest to store all this junk. Because I don't really want it ever, but I might. Okay, so get this stuff out of here. I don't need you. I will want you later. You I can just delete. Alright, I mean, I don't necessarily need all of this, but none of it is just begging to be deleted, at least. What are you? Oh, that's the air thing, yeah. Okay, so I didn't end up filling this chest exactly, but that's fine. There's still more cleanup to do. Now this makes Quicksilver, which I do want, but I don't want it going here, probably. I want 3 of these working together. Oh yeah, that setup makes sense, okay. Oh, well, that sort of makes sense, actually. So I do actually want these guys making shadow prisms. I just don't want them putting it over here. And so pulling salt prisms out here is good for business. So these guys can stay. I just have to put their output elsewhere. Here. Oh, I'm just... Okay. Not stuck, but annoyed. Oh, I already have an obsidian machine here. I forgot about that. Okay. So if I just build a few more. right? I only need 3 obsidian total per second, so I can just have 3 of these coming out like here. This makes elemental fire, right? Yeah, okay. It would be nice if this were a little bit higher up. So it weren't fighting with this salt slick for space, I guess. That should be achievable. And this doesn't want to go to the research area anymore. Neither do these. Oh, actually they do. No. The research doesn't cost prisms. It does. It costs prisms... No, sorry. This research costs prisms, but that research unlocked MoteMancer, and now I just need keystones, which need prisms to make the keystones, but not to do research after making the keystones. Okay. So let's run this over here. Should I be running it up a little, actually? Probably. Don't want to fight with that slick, like I said. Okay, now, oh, my inventory is full. I really don't need shadow prisms. I need them to do research, but the machines can make them. I don't need to carry them around. So Infernal Maw, this is the thing I need a handful of. Can go like there. Oh, it doesn't even need this elemental. Yes, it does. That's exactly what it needs. Elemental shadow. Yes, correct. These are both backward. Good. Making obsidian. Now, let's just make a couple more copies of this. Needs more fire. And I guess while I'm doing this, I should build the extra Whispering Abysses that I need, which needs more ether, apparently. Who knew these were so slow to build? I mean, it makes sense, but... grinding ether by hand, what a loser. I'm not going to try to fix it now. But I guess I should give myself even more to work with in the near future. There's one Infernal Maw. So these slot into each other nicely. I could even run the slick a little bit higher, but I think I kind of want a little space around here. So I'm imagining something like this for the outputs. What? What did you, how did, I didn't do that. Very weird. Oh, these are not balanced, or symmetrical rather. Really only have 4 firewires? No. Oh yeah, those are thermal towers over there, I see. All my firewires are on the plane of fire. I don't have the tools to make them here. Alright, where are my shadow keystones? Is this one? It is. Any guesses with that? That's the shadow side, I think. Yeah. And then the long, long walk back to civilization. So one thing that I've learned about going to these planes other than Earth has been that I really don't need that much interplanar logistics, right? The magma grippers were very useful on fire, but I could have just built them on fire. I prepped a bunch of... Boy, it sure is slow loading in here. I shipped a bunch of elemental earth to Shadow, anticipating that I would be there and use up all my magma grippers or whatever, but I finished building a keystone before I ran out of magma grippers. So it ended up not being a thing that I needed to worry about. There, let's just... that's too many, but... Anything else I need while I'm here? Not really. Grindstones and collectors wouldn't hurt. They're around here somewhere, aren't they? This is one of them. A couple grindstones. Sure. You always need grindstones. Although less and less these days. Because I have the void chests full of salt and ether. Pedestals. Sure, I'm doing a bunch of research. Why not? I guess that'll do. So, like, I shipped all this elemental earth, but didn't really use it at all. It's still not plugged into anything. And yet I shipped in so much that I could make earth keystones with it, practically. I mean, I guess not that much, but a lot. So for the final stage, well, I don't know if it's the last thing to do, reopening the Great Portal. I've heard stuff in the Discord that sounds like maybe you need to make a bunch of keystones after that. I'm not sure. But opening the Great Portal just... Oh, did I not? Do I? Oh, no. No, I have fire keystones. Okay. Hello? There we go. Opening the Great Portal is going to require, like, shipping stuff cross-plane in order to get all the stable elements or all the energetic elements together to make diamond and quintessence. And so all this shipping that I'm doing of stuff that I'm not using at all should probably be repurposed to ship useful stuff. Right? Because, like, let's say I'm here on air. I can comfortably gather water and shadow and assemble all of that into, well, not into it. Yes, I could put down the buildings to make mycelium and sand, I guess. But I would still need earth. I would need granite in order to actually make diamond or quintessence, whichever it is. Probably diamond, if I had to guess. And so I somehow need to get stuff from earth all the way to air, right? And then likewise, when I'm building stuff from all the stable elements, the unstable elements, I can do that on a stable plane. Let's say water. Pull in life and air, but I need to get fire there as well. And, like, that's going to have to go this way around the planes, in a sense, right? So I won't really be able to use interplanar logistics for much else, I don't think. Oh, but if I ship through water, water has multiple streamways connected to its planar portals. So that's actually a good reason maybe to assemble stuff in these planes, is that I wouldn't need to undo any of the shipping I'm already doing, I think. Except for the shipping of water onto Earth, which is whatever. I don't need to go back to Earth ever again. Okay, anyway. The point is shipping all this. I don't need to keep shipping stuff and then throwing it and then just leaving it there. Where was I? I was building. Oh, I went back because I needed more power. Yeah, that's true. Okay, but anyway, this makes obsidian. And we can have a parallel facility, I don't know, up here? We already have it, right? For making quicksilver. We just have to rearrange how, we'll scale it up and rearrange where its outputs go. Why did I place it so far away? There was a power pole in the way, I guess? Weird choice. Okay, whatever. Sure. And just put it here. So this one's facing the other way, so I don't have to put it over here and use another power pole, basically. Why are you not getting your other input? That's elemental air, isn't it? You're getting it. Y'all ain't. There's a bunch just sitting here. So it's not like this slick is empty. Right? That looks like elemental air. Huh? You got it, and you got it. You ain't got it for some reason. Oh, it's picked up some random garbage that it isn't allowed to drop off here, I guess? You are dropping off some random garbage? No. Let's just confirm. That's elemental air. This is all elemental air. What if I did that? Would you be happy? You are. What? What's wrong with this square? I don't understand you at all, buddy. But I guess if you're happy, I'm happy. It's not like it was unhappy because it was on the same square as another gripper, is it? Like this one is. But it was able to pull stuff. Happily. Huh. Plus, that just generally isn't a mechanic I've seen before. Okay, so I need more, well, more binders for all this stuff, for one thing. Which is over here. More chests, apparently. Although I use them so rarely, I don't mind just building them when I need one. Here's my other little mining camp. Okay. So that needs to meet up with this, like... Oh, actually, well... I should build this out first. I forget if I mentioned, I did see on the Discord some cool ideas for using air grippers that I had not thought of myself. For example, if you offset the buildings a little bit like this, instead of having them along each other, then suddenly... gripper here, I think. That's not right. I think you need to do even more. You have to offset them like this. But then, I don't have any air grippers. An air gripper here can feed them both from while inputting from here, and so you only need one gripper per two buildings in that way. Kind of neat. I will probably have to play around with stuff like that when I'm on air and don't have access to Earth. And there'll be a revolution, and I'll be like, oh wow, how did I ever not like doing things this way? Okay, this is enough binders. I have to say, by the way, aside from the chore of building out this huge array, I haven't actually felt like the overbuilding has cost me a lot of time. It turns out most of the time it's just gone into, like, figuring out where to put everything. Building these long arrays of binders, not the end of the world. Although these are kind of a nuisance, aren't they? I've forgotten. It's been a while since I built one. Okay. So this goes here. Even this, it's not really any time at all. I always forget at the far end. Well, I guess it doesn't have to be quite as symmetrical, does it? Oh, it does. Right. Can't get it to actually face the other way because there's too much stuff in the way over here. So that's my truckloads of elemental air. Now this line of motes of air can come down to the mining area. I love the adirectionality of slicks. You don't have to worry about which direction a line is going, you can just extend it. That's all connected. Right, because as far as, you know, the buildings up here that I just finished building are concerned, the motes of air were running east to west because the mining area was over here. So they were going this way through the production area, but now this area can contribute motes of air as well, and they're running... Sorry, they were running west to east. Now these are running east to west, but it doesn't matter because slicks don't care about direction. Okay, now I want to, I think, just tear up this whole research area. I'm going to replace it with a new one. That won't be that dissimilar, but I do have to do some other stuff first. Notably, I have to... Are these connected? They are, right? It's hard to tell. I'm going to put that... Okay, whatever. That's fine. So these can come in, and I need... What else for keystones? Is it just... prisms, right? And maybe elemental? No, not elemental stuff, right? Yeah, just shadow prisms, okay. And it's really just one building to make one per second, which is more than I can really stand anyway, right? So give me another Dark Grove, please, Alex. They're over here. So this should start doing it, right? Is this the wrong building? Shadow prisms, quicksilver, and obsidian. Shadow? Oh, I'm putting an elemental shadow. Where are the shadow prisms? They're over here. I mean, this is kind of a silly way to do it, but I guess it works. Wait, but why do it the silly way? Slow down? Do it the smart way instead. These are shadow prisms. Oh, that's pointing at an inserter, not a building. I see. It's not actually a good way to do this, is there? The building's shape is designed to confound. There's this. Okay, well, one thing I can do is get rid of these stupid grippers and just move them a little. Right, and then I have this. Right? I think so. So here's my keystones. Running pretty much full time, I would say. But of course, it's hard to tell whether we're working through the buffer of this stuff or if it actually is working full-time. I think it looks pretty close to full-time, and it should be based on like the inputs I fed to it, right? The issue is just going to be that we're not actually researching full-time, because the next thing we have to do is build void chests and shade collectors. But each of those are quite simple. They just require a lot of ingredients, which I've already built. So, I guess the issue is that I need to run the mycelium all the way down here. Also, I need more slicks. Which I will soon re-automate, but for the moment, I don't have down in that area. I have to come back up here. I never use these stupid rune shrooms. Why am I carrying them around? Good question. There's no great way to avoid crossing two slicks here, I don't think. Because this elemental darkness and this salt salt. This line is just salt. I have better solutions for salt now. I can just rip this slick out. This crossing won't have to happen. And I'll just have to do one crossing for the new guy. So you're using what? I mean, 3 salt per second? That's literally just 1 gripper from a void chest, but I'll put another in just in case, I guess. Oh, and I can actually just use this crossing I already have here. I don't have to have the mycelium cross the shadow. I can have the shadow cross mycelium instead of crossing salt. Okay, do I already have the void chest thing set up over here? I think so. I do. Okay. Yes, this is still just as connected as it was. Not that it has to be. Why do I only have 2 grippers doing this? Shouldn't there be 3? I think so. Because 8 of these are making 4 per... Oh, right. Not 9 per second, 4 per second. Okay, as you were. And now, the mycelium can just come down here. Burrow under this. Ta-da! So the recipes for things I want to build. Shade collectors are just mycelium and simple collectors. Very easy. And void chests are just mycelium and ichor slicks. That's more of a thing. I'm going to need a big production array for those. If I want this research to proceed quickly, which I guess I don't really care, but it would be quite a shame if all this other building had been for no reason. Let's, though, do the shade collectors first, because I can actually have that finished and start doing research fairly soon. Plus, it's the thing we need more of for the 2 researches, right? So... They tell me 5 researches, huh? Where'd I put my altars? I'm sure I have them. Here they are. Those are pedestals, you jerk. These are altars. So I don't really need them. Actually, am I crazy? Is this just like fine? For some reason I thought I needed like to space them better, but at least for a small number of elements, this seems pretty good. Plus there's multiple shared spots for both of them, so you don't have to plug in so many places. Am I a genius all of a sudden? There's nothing that these 2 share. Yeah, so I can't have this and this share, but I can just have every other, right? I can be like here, here, and here for something, for example. Now this is using up the whole top row, which is a little bit wasteful, but maybe that is just bad. It's not, though. I've still got this spot. Oh, give me more altars. Or more pedestals. Didn't I pick up like 20? Okay, Q just wasn't working for some reason. I must have been clicking wrong. So I can put like elemental shadow on this, for example. Oh my gosh. They can't get the elemental shadow. We're using it all. Very exciting. That should stop very soon. I would think. No, this slick is just dry as a bone. Okay. So... collectors come from grindstones, is that correct? No, they're made in tinker's tables. And it takes 2 tinker's tables to make a collector per second. Oh, I don't need to make another. I meant to pick one up, not build another. So wasn't there some cute way... No, not really. To have just one void chest of each type feeding 2 collectors? There probably is, right? Yeah, it's like this, of course. So simple collectors are Salt, Prism, and Ether, which are the first 2 chests. Make a little space here. Actually, is that even what I want? I don't know if it is. I mean, it's fine to have done that, but I maybe didn't have to. Because it's Dark Groves, right? For shade collectors. Yeah. I don't think I have any Dark Groves at the moment. Pretty quick to build, though, when you already have all the ingredients. Oh, which I don't? Good. God, there's stupid invisible garbage on the ground everywhere. Where is it now? Why can't I put this shit down? This something? No. That's something. Ha! I can run this right through a power pole. How cute. And the slick continues undisturbed. you not happy? Oh, I never finished plugging that in, apparently. Okay. So now this... is ready to be fed into pedestals. I guess on the south side? Or... right. There's not really a nice join point along here for me to use only some of this, so okay, the bottom it is then. I guess I'll just mirror the situation on top. Oh, I guess for symmetry it should be this way. And firewires, and then we should just spring to life with actual research, right? Why aren't you? You only see two things. Oh yeah, that's true. I got misled by these overlays into thinking that these two would both see both of these squares, but that's not true. I mean, the overlay clearly sort of told me the truth. It did. It didn't lie. It's just a little bit hard to decode when it looks like this. This looks like... oh yeah, lots of people would love this, but no. Oh, so let's count this, by the way. 1 alligator, 2 alligator, 3 alligator, 4 alligator, 5. Yeah, okay, I could believe that. Somewhere between 4 and 5, according to my alligators, which I think run a little hot. So 5 sounds right. But this is just the wrong shape for a research array, apparently. Okay, well, I want to do it right. My inventory is full. Oh, what do you know? Garbage. Very expensive garbage, but stuff I don't want. Oh, man. It's just like, I don't know. It's so hard to delete stuff. So many shade collectors. Just never gonna need this many ever again. Okay, so back to basics. If I want an infusion altar. Let's say here. So I think I think you can still do it with the altars like this, but you need a different idea for routing the elements. Because what you actually need is pedestal, like these 3 pedestals to take the top stuff. And then these 3 pedestals, right? Does that actually work? Now if I build an underground, no, that does not work. Well, there's nothing wrong with those pedestals. You just can't do it with the little underground idea. Because now what you can do... Inventory is full. Is something like this. I think. Is this gonna fit? Yeah, it actually fits quite nicely. That. Right? This is an okay way to do 2 ingredients on top, 2 on bottom. I don't think I'm going to be able to reuse this idea on air because I'm going to be researching with a lot of different elements at the beginning of the research, but maybe not. Yeah, these are all whirling grippers, so... Actually, I think it's basically just 4 ingredients the whole way up. No, you eventually have to start putting in wind turbines. But much of it should be okay. Anyway, and then on the bottom here, you do something similar, I think. Something indeed analogous. No, that's not how that's supposed to work. It's supposed to go there. And now there's still plenty of room to fill these middle pedestals with the void chests that we're going to get from the west. But I need more space to build. My everything! Yeah, that shut production off for a minute, I think. Why have you stopped? Oh, we ran out of elemental shadow. Man. It's crazy. I'm making so much of it. And I'm about to put even more demands on the factory. Maybe it wasn't wrong to build so big. I mean, nothing's ever wrong. Do whatever you want, right? It's a game. So I need at least... So for making 9 mycelium, we should make 9 Ichor Slicks, right? For symmetry. Which requires 27 shadow. Oh, that's my entire supply. All of it. Which I clearly can't support while also making the mycelium and the keystones, but whatever. So let's just make half of that, I guess? Since I clearly don't have enough to supply this whole factory, I can scale down on the very last element, I guess. Like 4 tar cauldrons, I guess, making slicks. Which will mean 8 slabs, which means I think 4 Tinker's tables. Yeah, because you make 2 per second. Okay. So the 4 Tinker's tables can be fed perfectly by 2 slabs of the 2 ingredients, right? And then I think direct insertion into tar cauldrons makes sense. Yeah. This is kind of a cute build, I hope. Tinker's tables, right? Yes. There are going to be 4 of these, right? And each of them, no. Yes? There are only going to be 2. Because I said 4 tar cauldrons is plenty. Oh. Well, in that case, I can do this same idea. I want salt and prisms, I think? Yes. That's you and you. The tar cauldrons might be a bit too big to have these so close together. I might be able to do it, though. Yeah, right? Let's do something that's not a line for a change. Won't that be nice? Is that cool or what? Question mark? No, don't answer that question. Okay. Cool. And then... there should be some analogous way to work this one together, right? That doesn't fit. That looks okay. Sure, why not? Oh, there's not actually a way to feed this one into here, is there? Because I took the only spot that would work in. Likewise, although these are adjacent, I can't actually get one into... oh, I already did this. This one's already fed. Okay, cool. So are you, right? Okay. That doesn't quite go. I mean, that works, I guess. It's fine. Now, how to get anything out of this one is maybe an open question. Ah, no, it's not. It's a solved question. Bloop. Right? How nice. And now the rest of these are very easy to extract from. Ta-da! So that should make 4 slicks per second, which is just enough to fill a slab, which makes this whole thing... oh my god. See, the research is going to go by too fast. But it's fine. Even at this, I built... I don't know. Every so often I reassure myself and say, oh, maybe I didn't build it way too big. And then something like that happens. I'm like, there's not much for me to do, huh? The research goes by... I spent so much more time building up the research than the research took to actually happen. Now, I of course also have to get some elemental shadow in here, but that's no problem. It's just over here. I might be a little unhappy when I have to bring the mycelium across again, won't I? I'm taking this crossing over and then crossing back or something stupid like that. Wait a minute. Did I just not remember to expand this line? I'm making trillions of elemental shadow per second, but I'm only shipping over 12 of it. I remember saying I planned to expand this, and then I just didn't. Okay, well that would explain part of why things are going so slowly. So if I want to make space for 27, I basically have to like double this and then a bit more. My inventory is full. What do you... Get off my back. What do you want? I don't know. Throw away 1 ichor slick, you weirdo? Where are my chests? Here they are. I think I learned that you can't have them that close, right? It has to be something like this. To keep these guys happy. That stuff cascade on down. Beautiful. Okay, now I can take this and run it back up here. Oh, and this doesn't have to... well, yeah, it does sort of have to cross back over. For the... because the void chests are going to require It would have maybe been better to have the mycelium across the bridge instead of the elemental shadow because there's so much less of it, but whatever. So let's take this elemental shadow down to Ickerslick Town. Okay. Ickerslicks are all set up, I think. 4 per second. That's fine, I guess. Wait, why am I thinking I need elemental darkness again? I don't think I do, right? But I need mycelium again. Which is... oh, it's in here. That's fine. I can pull this down. And didn't I build another Dark Grove? I guess not. Oh, but it's supposed to be a tar cauldron, which I do have. Let's build it as close to the research area as I can, I guess. It's... well, I don't know. Could go either way on that, but I guess because these objects are so much resource denser than these are, I'd rather have these not be buffered up and have the inputs be buffered. So let's put it like here, I guess. I'm out of slabs. Oh. You would have thought that there would be slabs in here. But turns out they're getting made into junk. Oh, did no one ever extract your output? They were supposed to. Oh, I see. Yeah, this is just a nothing. Okay. This comes down to here. We have the not there, I guess. But it should be here. So, shouldn't that have started the next research thing? What? Oh, these aren't powered. Good. Literally just as I finished the previous research, I got the next one up and going. That's cool. I feel like it would be sort of pleasant to have couple machines turning these generic void chests into fancy void chests. But I don't really have, at the moment, the obsidian and quicksilver actually running over here. So I don't think I'm going to do that. And you can see that Icarslicks are the bottleneck in all this. This belt is running full tilt. It's not 100%. Why? You don't have enough slabs? Why not? These guys should be running full steam ahead. Every second they make 2, so that's 4 per second. Did I misread? No. Yeah, I need... No, I need... I did. Each of these... This is not enough slab production. Because I was thinking that each tar cauldron needed 1 slab per second, but it needs 2. So it actually should be a slab producer for each of these, not split between them. Okay, that's not a problem. I can just do that. With a couple more void chests. And then take the other one that is feeding you and say, you shall no longer. Likewise you. And we should be all set now. Kind of an irregular research area, or sub-factory. If I don't know. I built it with direct insertion, which seems fine. It turns out if I'm building 4 of these and they're each identical, maybe just having a nice little array of them would have been nice. Or there probably is some cute way to build them in a hexagonal friendly way. But overall, this is not bad. I don't mind it. Okay, and now these are all running full steam ahead. Ooh, okay, so we're actually running out of salt prisms in our void chest. But that's the easiest thing in the world to fix, right? We just need an array of... these guys. So if I take out 18 per second, I would need 36 grindstones to smelt it all. Maybe I shouldn't put that right here. Good news, I have 26 grindstones, and there should be more right here. Are you grindstones? You are. Great. So I never really built the salt prism stuff very large. So I'm not at all surprised that it needs a little bit of extension. Sounded like 15, 20. Yeah, that makes sense because my new stack. 36 we said, right? I'm not 100% clear how many this is. More wouldn't hurt. So did I ever figure out a way of using multiple slicks with grindstones? It seemed like they're too far... too small, right? I couldn't wiggle around them. Like, would whipping grippers solve my problem somehow? They might. Thing is, I don't want to hand build 200 of them just to do this research. So let's say I do like this, which means my output slick has to be here. Isn't this actually the easiest thing in the world? I really should not be dragging this whole slick out until I'm sure I've solved the problem, but these go here. Yeah, this is so easy. This is my output, a little awkwardly placed, but whatever. My input, one of my inputs, is up here. I need more slicks. I'm not sure which slick array is closer. I'll head to this one. The research one is maybe busy anyway, right? Plus undersupplied. Go back over those spots, I guess. Okay. Now, yeah, there's plenty of space for the output gripper to come, or for the other gripper, I should say. The other input, I guess, is what it is. To reach over this. Without the slick having to do anything weird at all. Like it does for the bigger buildings. Zoom way in, so hopefully we don't miss any frames. Looks okay. I know, I could just move this over a little bit, but for symmetry. And then I could just drag power poles down all this, and yet I'm still pointlessly frugal. Okay, we seem to be done with shadow research. And that doesn't mean this is wasted, right? This build is for adding more salt prisms to overall production. It's modular, right? Let's see, it wants salt and prisms, right? No, it just wants salt and ether, of course. What am I saying? That's ether. This is salt. And then, not that it matters where it is, but I'll put it at the other end. No, actually, I think it's kind of nice for it to be over with the others, so you can see in one place exactly what this array is doing. Those are pointing the wrong way. No, they're not. Research for my mana regen, very important. Haha. And then plug this in to scale up production again. Or to actually scale up production, to engage. There we go. I can't help but notice nothing is happening. They have salt, they don't have ether. Ah! Am I crazy? How fast do these work? Neither of the lines is blocked. Oh, this is only 18 per second. How did I convince myself it was 38? Or 36? I mean, no problem. I'll just build another 6 of these guys, and right? But I somehow built twice as much as I actually had. I intended to build enough to be fed exactly by one of these, but for some reason I confused myself and thought it needed twice as much. I imagine this will be enough salt prisms for the rest of my life. I hope. Even for ridiculously scaled up projects, right? Now, we can't go check what impact this has had on the shadow research because there is no shadow research. It's done. But it was at one time being blocked on slabs because I didn't have enough prisms to make the slabs, embarrassingly. It occurs to me, I got kind of used to working in fire and thinking all I had available were slabs and slicks and there was no compromise between. But streamways, I could have access to those. There's no water, but I could import it. I could have done some of this maybe a little bit more easily with streams somehow. Okay, I mean, this was a nice... not necessarily an example of what to do, of course, but I did succeed in building my grand ambition of, well, I guess I didn't. It can handle 1 keystone per second, and that's what I built, but I sort of didn't think about the fact that, oh, if you actually wanted 1 research per second, that's another story. You need like twice as much shadow for that. And so, I don't know. In some sense, this is both more than I need and less than I want. But it accomplished something. I'm going to get out of here. I shudder to think how long I've been here. Don't look down at the little red bar telling you how long this video is. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.